Okay guys, hello. And so for today we are going to learn about female reproduction cycle. Okay, let's look at the next slide. So in female reproduction cycle, there is two cycles. There is ovarian cycle and menstrual cycle. In ovarian cycle, it occurs in ovary and it contains three phases, that is follicular phase and ovulation and luteal phase. Okay, in menstrual cycle, it occurs in uterus wall, and also it consists of three phases that such as menstruation, proliferative phase, and secretory phase. Okay, this is the structure for the ovarian cycle. So in ovarian, as we know that there is a primordial follicle and it will grow to the secondary follicle, and secondary follicle will grow to become grafting follicle, and at day 14 it will rupture and release the secondary oocyte, and it will become corpus luteum, and the corpus luteum will degenerate to form a new cycle. Okay, so let's go through with ovarian cycle. Okay, as we know, ovarian cycle, the first phase is follicular phase. Okay, as we look this, in follicular phase, actually it begins with the primary follicle. Before that, the hypothalamus release gonadotropin releasing hormone GRNH to stimulate anterior pituitary to secrete small amount of luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone FSH, and it will stimulate the development of follicle in ovary. In follicular phase, it occurs in 0 to 13 days for the development of primary oocyte in primary follicles become secondary oocyte from Graafian matured follicle. So as we look at, this is a structure from the primary follicle, it will become Graafian follicle. So the developing follicle secretes and produces estrogen, inhibits LH and FSH during follicular phase. Now we go to the ovulation. Ovulation is the process that in the middle for follicular phase and luteal phase. So at day 14, the ovulation occurs. The Graafian follicle increase the secretion of estrogen sharply and stimulates ovulation. So after ovulation, a high concentration of estrogen stimulates the release of GnRH. Okay, GnRH stimulates anterior pituitary to secrete high level of LH and FSH. Okay, then in luteal phase, it occurs in day 15 to 28. LH stimulates the transformation of Graafian follicles into corpus luteum. Under continuum of influence of LH, the corpus luteum secretes progesterone and estrogen. As the level of hormone rise, they exert negative feedback on the anterior pituitary to inhibit the secretion of LH and FSH. Near the end of luteal phase, the corpus luteum will disintegrate. The concentration of estrogen and progesterone will decline. The pituitary begin to secrete enough FSH to stimulate the growth of new follicles in the ovary. Now we go to the next cycles in female reproduction, that is menstrual cycle. So we go to the first phase, that is menstrual phase, that occur in day 1 until day 5. It begins when progesterone level is low, and it stimulates hypothalamus to secrete GnRH. GnRH stimulates anterior pituitary gland to secrete FSH and LH. FSH stimulates the growth and development of follicles in ovary. It will release estrogen. Proliferative phase, that occur in day 16 until day 13. That is the second phase in menstrual cycles. So the estrogen repairs the endometrium with the network of blood vessels. As follicle mature, they secrete more estrogen, stimulate the anterior pituitary gland to secrete LH. Ovulation occurs at day 14. Then we go to the last phase in menstrual cycles. That is secretory phase, that occur in day 15 until day 28. So the LH will stimulate the formation of corpus luteum. Corpus luteum secretes large amount of progesterone and small amount of estrogen. High level of progesterone and estrogen will inhibit the release of GnRH. GnRH inhibits the secretion of LH and FSH by negative feedback mechanism. Progesterone and estrogen maintain the thickening of endometrium wall. If fertilization not occur, corpus luteum secrete progesterone for about 10 days, then it will degenerate. But so this is because progesterone and estrogen decrease rapidly and menstruation will begin. So how about if the fertilization occur? If fertilization occur, the corpus luteum continuing secretes progesterone and estrogen to maintain the endometrium until placenta is formed. Okay, so that's all for the female reproduction cycles. So hopefully you learn something from what I shared to you. So that's all for today. Thank you for listening.